Welcome back, all you beautiful people. Let me make sure you're getting the beautiful sounds of my voice. Welcome back. Two fills for the price of one for that moment there, folks. Welcome back to the K.O.E. Nation, folks. I am your King of Extreme, the elated, excited, returning master once again. It is I, your King of Extreme, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, Phil K.O.E. Worry not, folks. Your life without the King of Extreme has been tumult and chaos, but I have returned to give you this very, very shocking news. Destiny has been banned from Twitch. But we will get into that here in a moment, folks. I, your King of Extreme, have been away at harvest, bringing in the crops so that we can make sure that this beautiful world with all you beautiful people are beautifully fed, and we do it because, God damn it, it needs to be done. So, folks, how are we all doing this evening? I am thrilled to be here at the K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. That's K as in the King of Extreme. O as in, oh my God, it's the King of Extreme. E as in, well, extreme. K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. It's where you can find me. But folks, so Destiny has been banned from Twitch. This is big for anybody on Twitch. Everybody on Twitch. This affects, because let's be frank, I mean, Destiny is one of the main attractions. Other than like Hassan Say, who's made a pretty good time of it, Destiny is probably one of the main attractions to Twitch politics. But I don't think Twitch seems to really care. It's very interesting to watch how some of these big tech platforms treat some of their biggest attractions. Now, again, we will get into it because, folks, your King of Extreme here, as always, here at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. And by the way, you can also find me over at Big Buck and Empire on YouTube on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursdays for the Dog and Chicken Show. You know, because I'm a man that's too big, too extreme for just one show. So let's move right along here, folks. The glasses of extreme have come on. Yes, the glasses of extreme are here. And we are going to be reading an article from GameRant.com. Twitch streamer Destiny has been banned by Rory Young, published 3 days ago. So, Twitch streamer Destiny has always been a controversial figure. Going back to his initial years as a competitive StarCraft 2 player, it's no surprise that Destiny has, on and off again, been banned from Twitch. As such, it likely won't be too surprising, even to Destiny's followers, that the Twitch streamer has once again been banned from the platform. It isn't clear at the moment how long Destiny's ban will be, as the streamer hasn't provided an update on the subject. Officially, Destiny has confirmed that he was banned from Twitch for, quote, sharing personal information, unquote. While Twitch either hasn't provided specifics on the matter, or Destiny hasn't shared specifics, followers of his Twitch channel believe, this is rumor and innuendo, believe they know exactly what led to the ban. During a recent live stream, Destiny spoke about the massive Twitch leak, which that's a little opaque to me. It looks like the paydays of what a lot of Twitch streamers are making got leaked and such, and apparently like some passwords or something. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Well, Big Buck and Empire. And hey, Justin Motes, how you doing? How you doing? I have been harvesting, very busy harvesting. I've actually got edited a harvest compilation video. I might play it tonight. I don't know. We'll get to that a little later. He shared an email address. We allegedly. During a recent live stream, Destiny spoke about massive Twitch leaks. The leaks included a list of corporate email addresses, and Destiny reportedly read one of the email addresses on stream. It's entirely true that Twitch's terms of service tell streamers not to share the private information of others. The publicly shared Twitch community guidelines explicitly state that it is prohibited to share quote, content that may reveal private personal information about individuals, unquote, quote, personally identifiable information, unquote, and, quote, restricted, protected social profiles or any information from those profiles, end quote. Or, in more general terms, it's prohibited to share any information that, quote, violates another's reasonable expectation of privacy. Suffice to say, the article continues, Twitch employees' email addresses fall into one or multiple of those guidelines. An email address shared among professional connections or within the company has an expected level of privacy versus being shared publicly. That's especially true given the toxicity towards Twitch employees many users have, and especially so among Destiny's fan base, which is known to have a vocal minority of very toxic people. I don't know about every crowd, every fan base of any size gonna, but anyways, the article continues. There are certainly voices within the Twitch community questioning the necessity of the ban. Many have voiced that they believe sharing email addresses, if that is the reason for Destiny's ban, isn't a ban-worthy offense. They think email addresses are effectively public in the first place. Of course, they are just trying to be supportive of Destiny. It can be assumed, regardless of whether one believes that Destiny's actions are harmful or not, that Twitch was going to take the situation regarding the recent hack very seriously. Goodness gracious. Rather than wait for a potentially harmful situation to occur, a proactive approach to the situation is being acted on now. The Twitch hack has the potential to leak significantly more personal details of Twitch employees than just email addresses, and an email address could be the connection necessary to find more dangerous personal information. There's a reason Twitch's community guidelines cover this subject quite broadly. And that is the article that outlines the idea as to what happened. And we got just about doing great. Birthdays on October 26th. Gonna do a live stream on Facebook. Well, I mean, Justin, you had better drop that link to your live stream in the description here, or at least when it gets a little closer, you can put it in the description of this video because it's definitely going on YouTube. God bless. What impact will this have on the K.O.E. Nation? Why, the impact it is having, it has brought me out from my seasonal sabbatical during harvest. I'm going to be harvesting again tomorrow. I was harvesting all day today, but it brought me out of my seasonal sabbatical to connect with you, the beautiful people of the K.O.E. Nation, because you needed to connect with me. I needed to connect with you. Our symbiotic relationship remains eternal. So yes, that is the impact that it has had upon the K.O.E. Nation, sir. Thank you. But yes, the impact is reverberating. It's brought your King of Extreme out from, imagine like an amulet was binding me, and bam, I just broke out and I'm back with you beautiful people. And as somebody that's actually been on a panel with Destiny before, gosh, if that guy can't make it, who the hell can? Like, if even he can keep getting, because he was the nicest person on that panel by a mile. I mean, other than, of course, your King of Extreme, then Destiny, and then it kind of, like, there was a couple others that were really nice, and then it started getting progressively worse. And I do mean that as a double entendre. Yes, yes. Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Phil doesn't have to stand, but he stands for America. Thank you. Yes, I stand for America. I stand for you, folks. Yes, the K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. And folks, as I've said before, because I stand for America, that is why in 2024, I have announced my candidacy for the presidency of the United States of America in 2024. Do the right thing. Vote extreme. So, folks, I am back. I am with you beautiful people, and it is great to be here. So, Destiny banned on Twitch. You know who's at first going to be happy, but then devastated about this is going to have to be Bosch. Bosch will at first be like, yes, my audience will grow, but shit, whose arguments am I going to steal and slightly tweak and then make it sound like it's my own idea? Fuck! Oh no! I gotta start doing real research and shit. So yeah, that's it's gonna be fun to watch that. I'm curious how long this ban will actually last, but I think, in all honesty, it's probably going to be a couple of week ban because Twitch does understand that this is a major attraction. RevRest Pod says, if Destiny is allowed to return to Twitch at some point, will he be required to ask you to rail his? I don't think he's married, and if that was a term, that would be weird. But I mean, wives are not exactly safe around the King of Extreme. I have been known to woo one or two of them. So, but I digress. So that is, folks, what I think will happen with Destiny. Is he's going to be back in about 2, maybe 3 weeks. Now, these leaks are a big deal for Twitch because it kind of undermines people wanting to get as big as they wanted to the day before. Because now they're thinking, well, shit, if I get big, is my shit going to get leaked everywhere? And like even apparently passwords are getting leaked. So Twitch, boy, howdy. Do you got some issues? Oh, let me get that going again. But yeah, this is not going to be a easy fix for the Twitch Corporation. But I think what's going to eventually happen is Destiny's going to get a talking to. He's going to get at, I always say it's kind of like with government agencies. If you first, a government agency will send a business a letter that's like 6-7 pages long, and it's very nice sounding, and you do all these wonderful things, and we just need you to do this one little thing. And if you keep refusing to do that thing, the letters get shorter and shorter and shorter. And I kind of get the feeling that Destiny realizes he doesn't want those messages from Twitch to get shorter and shorter and shorter, and so that's why he's gonna comply. And all he did was read an email address, but like the article said, that's enough connection. Like, you've seen how crazy some of these people online get. So we will see how it goes. Was it a bit over the top? Yes. If the Twitch leaks had not happened, Destiny would not be banned today. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I know, very, very controversial statement, but I stand by it. Now, apparently this was done on one of Prime's panels, or I forget, like Prime tied into this somehow. So it's, God damn, that guy just can't help but find himself in the center of controversy. I forget how he ties it, but hey, we've got some more. Big Buckin' Empire. Twitch is talking about introducing a pay-to-play model. Small streamers pay to have streams show up on recommended screen. Makes you wonder how long-term, how much they care about creators. Like there's some people, they'll be like, that's awful. That's terrible. I'll never do that. And then there's other people that will be, tell me of this pay-for-click service. So, I mean, it's kind of a catch 22, if you will. So, because I'll be honest, like smaller channels, I know a lot of smaller channels that would love that kind of service, that they can actually get on some people's recommended screens. So, like Ricky would say from Trailer Park Boys, that's a catch 23 situation. What's up? Hey, Yanked Up Gaming. Folks, amongst the many, many people, we've got Big Buckin' Empire here on YouTube that you definitely need to check out. You got RevRest Pod here on Twitch you need to check out, and also Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. We've also got Yanked Up Gaming here on Twitch, but also check out Yanked Up Podcast just in general, just a Yanked Up Podcast, or a good salt of the earth guy. Big Buckin' Empire is where it is really the channel of record. It's where we get it right, not first. We come together on Thirsty Thursday and we make sure that we get the analysis you need. And well, here we go. And also, don't forget Big Buckin' Entertainment on Twitch, folks. Another conduit to get all of your K.O.E. content on top of subscribing to the greatest channel in all history, K.O.E. Nation on YouTube. and also K.O.E Nation on Twitch. You would not want to miss out, folks, because this right here, as I said, the greatest channel in all human history. Let's see if I can get that going. There we go. Now, folks, yes, what can I say? Big Buckin is sexy. Oh, yes, it is, according to Rev Rest Pod. Well, you know, it does have the sexiest man in all human history, Phil K.O.E, gracing the show from time to time. Not lately, because Harvest is what it is, and hey, folks, what are you gonna do? But I figured, let's see if I can actually do this, folks. Share screen. Nope, not what I was after. But yes, I was thinking about I might premiere a harvest video for you, but we'll get into that a little later. Weird, I'm getting it all, and yes, Big Buckin is smoking at Alesto TV. How we doing? Welcome back, Alesto. Destiny shouldn't have been banned. It's fun. You're sharing public info is doxing. You know, and I've been thinking about that because, like, when I go on these Twitch streams, I'm not really as, you know, concealing of my information as others because, you know, I'm a farmer in Nebraska. Like, the likelihood of me ever even running into anybody on any of these streams is almost nil. And so, like, even when I would come onto these streams, like, I would bring up the hashtag Oliver Strong cause for my nephew that's battling pediatric cancer. And you know, like other people like, oh, you're doxing yourself. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I want to get help and I want to try to help the right people. And so, but I've noticed that, yeah, people on Twitch are fucking touchy about that shit. So I don't know. I don't know if I have the proper answer to that. Hey, there it goes. Now I'm blushing. Big Buckin Entertainment because, well, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, an email address is the dumbest reason. I gotta agree. Yes, and Alesto agrees with you. Specifically, since those email addresses are public knowledge. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's hard to disagree when all it is just an email that you can find publicly. But again, we've seen what, like, the weaponized obsession of some people where they will just comb over every single little thing to find the slightest little. So I get it, but at the same time, I do feel it was not proportionate. But I will say it again. I don't care. I don't care how controversial it is. If the Twitch leaks had not happened, Destiny would be unbanned as we speak. I am absolutely sure of that. So the reverberations, though, will be a further chilling of what you can and can't talk about on these platforms. If Destiny comes back as a furry cartoon streamer, what animal will he be? Well, being from Nebraska, probably like a whitetail buck, maybe maybe a coyote. Those would probably be your two best bets if you were going to be repping Nebraska proper. Now, it's always kind of funny whenever I've even mentioned a couple of times when I'm on stream with, or the one time I was on stream with Destiny, is like, you know, whenever you say something I agree with, I'm like, well, that's the Nebraska talking. And to me, it's like whenever he says something I disagree with, well, the big city has just corrupted you, kid. Has to be whatever the hell Tom. Well, allegedly. Alesto. Honestly, K.O.E Nation not doing well, brother. We can go into it, but let's just say the rare side effect people get from a specific thingy-mabobber. I can raise my hand and say I'm one of those. Oh my! Well, we best like. My heart goes out to you, Alesto. I really do. But unfortunately, we all know we can see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil on that particular subject. It's, you know, I've actually been kind of putting together a speech. I'm kind of writing it a little bit where I'm going to take the network speech from 1978 where he goes, Edward George Reddy died today. Edward George Reddy died of a heart condition. And woe is us. We're in a lot of trouble. And I'm thinking about doing a version of that. Now, I'll give you just my first initial, like, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all major social media has banned all dissent, and woe is us, we're in a lot of trouble. Because you people and a billion other like you are listening to people like me right now. Because less than 3% of you read books. Because God knows how few of us now read newspapers. Because right now there is a whole, an entire generation that didn't know anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, posts, priests, prime ministers, and woe is us if it ever falls into the wrong hands. And that's why woe is us that dissent has now been banned on all social media. So listen to me. You listen to me. Twitch isn't the truth. Twitch is a goddamn amusement park, a traveling jugglers of sideshow circus freaks and carnival players and football players. We're in the boredom killing business. You people are the real thing. We are the illusion. Now this is mass madness, people. You are starting to think like the tube, eat like the tube. You even start to raise your children like the tube. My God, people, turn your sets off right now in the middle of this sentence and connect with the people that you love and matter to you. And that's the beginnings of a speech that I've got planned. So we will get into that later. I'm so sorry to hear that, Alesto. I'm really am. I'll be fine. We're push through it. I'm stubborn, but yeah. Well, nice. Hell, if people looked into government history, they wouldn't trust Big Daddy government as much as they do. Pretty much. I mean, there is an oppressive new totalitarian state religion, and its adherents call themselves leftists. And it's so unfortunate that you got caught up in it. Big bucking, yeah, I've jokingly blamed all my body aches on certain medical procedures, but yeah, I feel for those really hurting. God, that's too bad. It's too bad. I love your Big Daddy government. Did it go down? No, I just gave you beautiful people the first take on a thought that I've been formulating and ruminating in my head for a while. Down. K.O.E Nation on YouTube. But, well, now, folks, you know, I've brought all of you some happiness. You didn't even. You know, I'm so sorry. But yeah, come on in. The water's fine. Now let's see if I can get this going, folks. Video file. I'm trying to find something here because I want to. There we go. Issues on Twitch for some. Oh, my Twitch is down. I was wondering why I lost so many views. What the hell? Like I was really bringing it in and then suddenly nothing. Huh. Hang on, let me check that out. Goodness gracious, can you believe it, folks? K.O.E Nation on Twitch. Let's see. What do we got here? Also, my internet really sucks here in my little tiny town. But yes, that is. Well, looks like I might have something. I don't know. So my internet sucks in my little town. What can I say? But yes, that is my YouTube channel. Let's see. Let me just check here something real quick. Because I'm like, there we go. There. I'm going to turn it way the fuck down. Now let me know how clear that's coming in for all you beautiful people. I'm just curious. Hey, there we go. Now this is just a quick harvest highlight. I just want to give you folks a quick overview of what I've been up to lately. And while that's also going, I'm gonna
17,
actually I'll let
18. That's pretty
my
good.
brother at Grow the Farm up.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Grow the
And
Farm up
looking,
on
that's gonna
YouTube.
have some good test weight to it. Definitely
Sweet,
nice,
sweet.
long kernel. C-Tech 6433.
Well, I mean, it's a good
August
idea list. So it's the best channel on
15th,
YouTube.
2021.
Well, well, well. Let's turn that down a little now that I got my headphones on. There we go. So, this is my brother and I going through the commercial corn.
Looking at the quality of the corn crop and rating it and not the ground truthing it. The USDA and the market's taking into account. And so they're trying to figure out if there's a record crop out here or not.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it for a second, Dad. Like we danced around it. How's the harvest been? Any problems with district? Oh God, don't get us started on that. Jesus. Does that give you an idea? And also, since he's here, Dad's Worldwide on YouTube and Twitch. Check this motherfucker out. He is awesome. He's another great salt of the earth person. He just a great guy with great perspectives. He's a dad just trying to navigate this life. Definitely check him out. And oh Lord, Brendan, I've heard there's been a lot of problems. Yeah, yeah. Like, share, and sub. Brendan is here. You know it's gonna get canceled. Thank you, Yanked Up Gaming. B word. And there's seed corn. But yes, yes. Dad's Worldwide, YouTube, and Twitch. A great, great guy. Definitely check him out.
Constant pesticide application of the petrochemicals. It's like they breed the need for more, but I mean, so we just barely stayed ahead of it. Now, 95% of it's good because it's about understanding the life cycle of these. It's mainly wireworms through the drought this year that got in. I didn't see the earworm we largely took care of with I don't know, I think that earworm corn trait pretty well knocked the earworm off the spectrum of pests that you see out here. But you see a lot of wireworm and armyworm get in late. And so you just barely stayed ahead of it. But look, I mean, we're pretty good. I mean, and everything is just pollinated just excellently. That's a pretty big ear of seed corn for Nebraska. Also, September
Yeah.
1st. I mean, we got a whole farm that looks like that we got to put in the bin, man. I mean, that's heavy. And look
That
at
was
that.
an
It's
effort.
setting great kernel depth. There's humongous density of taking in the nutrients from the soil right now, just filling out. We'll wait till it's like physiologically mature, not harvest it too early, and it'll have a higher saturated cold germ test next year in 2022 when the farmer plants it. And look at that, kernel size will be perfect for you guys. Won't, you could use an old disc planter. Won't need the precision thing. Everybody's selling those precision planters now. It's kind of funny because they don't want to size their seed because you really don't need to. It's a pain, but when you grow seed that is all perfectly, see that? I mean, that's just flat. That's a large flat. That's exactly what all modern planters are designed to plant, and you're basically getting that through 80% of the year. That's the premium stuff that you want to plant if you want to try to hit 300 bushel in southeast Nebraska. Let's see what's over here.
In an indirect way, I'd say there's probably a 100% chance that you've probably eaten one of the byproducts of my seed harvests.
Let's just at least
Because
check a couple spots.
let's turn that down just a little bit. Seed corn, let's see. Okay, that ear that he's got right there that he's showing, that's seed corn. That is going to be the crop that everyone else is going to plant next year. And so I've had years where my crops have covered hundreds of thousands of potential acres in the next year's crop. So, yes, over the decades, I would say the likelihood that you, being in the Midwest, have probably eaten at least a byproduct of some of my labor is almost 100%. And I don't say that like lightly or braggadociously. I'm just, yes, I'm just saying because one seed creates a whole ear of all these more, like it's a multiplication issue, if you will.
You know, the height of the sterile plant always seems like it's out in the middle of a 6-row section.
Hi, Yanked Up Podcast. Check him out
Talk
too.
about
Yanked
going
Up
back to
Podcast on
4141,
YouTube.
but
It's
it
the
just
right thing to
actually
do, folks.
4161 is the most efficient way to grow seed. We've studied it for, I don't know, only what, 89 years now. We
Yeah.
tried 6.2. Never tried 4.242. Never saw the wisdom in that. That's a lot of waste on male, but
Yeah,
you know,
my
it's one of
family's
those-
been doing
that's
seed
pretty
corn
good
for, I believe
pollination.
this
You
is our
don't really
89th
wanna-
year.
You don't really want to plant. I mean, all that crap's going to get thrown out on its way to the bag of seed that makes the end product that you farm and plant. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you
And
very
look,
much.
And just again, a bunch of small flats and large flats, exactly like you want. There's, you know, that one might be a medium round. You might grade a little bit of
You know, I always try to stay modest and always try to realize, you know, I'm just one person in this vast sea of humanity trying to do my part. And I just am happy that my job, I can lay my head down in my pillow at the end of the night and feel a sense of pride and know that I didn't like just viciously fuck somebody over to make my daily bread. Yeah, it's not a bad feeling, I'll be honest.
this.
But yeah, thank
a
you.
good
Thank
seed
you very
company
much.
will take a lot of those medium rounds and just throw them out because it's only like 6-8%. I mean, that's why I knew C-Tech would always have high quality corn to sell and compete. When I first
And
met
I
them.
love you, my
You know,
denizens of the
both knew
K.O.E.
the
Nation.
mark of a good seed
Hey,
company
Granddad
is
Christmas. Love you,
what they're
man.
the
Welcome
marginal
to it.
product they're willing to throw out and not push on farmers just because they have it for inventory. You see that happen all the time with those guys, man. All the time.
That is true. That is
So
true.
when you got the ability, like, you know, when you're a farmer, like there's one that's not pollinated very well, you don't want to plant any seed off that one.
Nope.
Oh, dude, we got some pretty good corn out here, I tell you.
There's one right next to it, ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out here. I mean, this is
Excellent.
this is sterile, but the vast majority of what we pulled open looks like this, and actually that's average. There's better, but yeah, I don't know. You could probably. I was thinking the 8. You're probably pushing it, but you better get going about the 8. So what we'll do is we will pray to the labor gods and wait until after Labor Day. I don't know why. Whenever we wait till after Labor Day, it seems like we have a better harvest, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is about that, but so like the 7th or 8th, we'll just come harvest some of this stuff. That's what we'll do.
Every damn time.
About a week. Gonna make some.
Yep.
Get some volunteer corn for next year. Those will grow.
Oh, they will.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, growing up as a farmer and seed harvest always being so close to Labor Day, I never understood the concept of people getting off for Labor Day. As a kid, I just thought it was a day you were supposed to labor. I really didn't I didn't understand it because for us, that is the push season. Oh my God, we got to go get the money out of that field. And so, yeah, like I've had 2 Labor Days off in my life. And so I've always found that one kind of peculiar. Oh yeah, he's great shit. And my brother's YouTube channel is called Grow the Farm Up, where he mostly centers around sustainable and regenerative agriculture. Him and my dad are kind of like they've got this. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a genius plan for cover crops where they're using cover crops to do their tillage for them. So we'll get into that a little later.
You're looking at them on the road all year.
And there's the world's smallest farm dog. I'm going to turn it down just a little. Yes. As a medical worker, what is Labor Day? Nice. What is vacation? Yeah, my time off is when the snow flies. That's when I know I can take a little time. And yep, all right. Now that, for folks who don't know, that's a picker. Uh, Quibbles! Quibbles! How the fuck you been, Quibbles? Welcome back. I'm just showing a highlight video of the Harvest 2021. This is seed corn harvest. I'm actually in the tractor filming this. But Quibbles, how you been? And yes, your benevolent dictator. Yes. It's just, don't worry, denizens. It would really just be safer if you just replaced all of your politics with Phil K.O.E.'s politics. Then it would probably just all be for the best. So yes. How you been, man? How you been? I've been missing your content. I always loved your stuff. It was always very very punchy, very to the point, and it's a good because me, I'm a guy on the right. It's good. What winds are the lefties? What winds are on the side of the left way blowing? So it's a kind of I always enjoy your show because you have a leftist perspective, but you're also not just so condescending like the fucking Young Turks and the like, where they just become unwatchable. And there we are turning. How long was the harvest? How many days? It's still going. The seed corn harvest was 3 weeks. The soybean harvest, we still have one field left, and we still got a lot of commercial corn to go yet. So, yeah, the harvest is still ongoing, and it started just after Labor Day. So that's why you haven't been seeing much of me lately, because I'm getting up an hour or two after dawn, because you really can't harvest while the dew's on the plant. Or you can, but it's not very good. And then I get home at about dark. So I decided tonight I'm going on live because it's a big deal. Wahoo said, hey! Do you think Scott Frost is on the verge of turning things around? I've been hearing that Huskers are going to turn it around since Solich. So for 8 years, I've been hearing that. So we'll see. But yeah, that's local. That's a local gotcha. That's a local gotcha. Quibbles over coffee. We just uploaded a dump of more random stuff. We're planning to upload more soonish. Good. Yeah. Quibbles over coffee. I just a great guy. I've only encountered him a handful of times on the internet, but I'm a quick judge of character. He's got a good soul. So definitely check out Quibbles over coffee. And Quibbles, it's like when I watch your videos, I'm like, there's just a few things. I love the way that you'll go very, very high and then come back down low. But there's times that you stay way too high for way too long, way too high for way too long. I'm like, no. You gotta come in high and then come back low. And it's a beautiful, it's like a musical instrument using your voice perfectly. So that's just my one thing. So I forgot how you did many crops. My great grandfather did the first seed crop in Nebraska in 1936, and we did seed corn, then seed milo. Seed soy is pretty straightforward. It's not quite as opaque as seed corn. So how many acres do you farm? More than one. Dads Worldwide, all of them, yes. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But yeah, Wahoo Sam, it's funny you bring that up. Me and a buddy of mine have just been having back and forth over the Huskers. And I always say, love your family like your sports, because god damn, when you just give a sports team a little prick, a little bit of shit, oh my god, it's like you open Pandora's box. The floodgates have been open, and all their hate comes out on you. It's pretty funny. So to me, it's always like, love your family like your sports. If your sports team is losing a game, is going to ruin your day and how you interact with your family and friends, maybe consider another hobby. I don't know, just me. Yes, and now here we go, and that was, there we go, the last pass on my great-grandfather's field. There we go. That's also where I get all my deer. Oh, and there I am in the command center. Here in a minute, I give you a full tour of my family's drying facility. So that's pretty interesting. But this night I was sitting at the command center because
The command center.
yep. Well, because that night, my brother needed to be elsewhere, and so there I sat. But this was my chance to get a shot of the facility. So you've seen how the corn gets into the carts that make their way into the semis. Now, this is showing how the corn gets shucked and sorted. So this is the sort house that my grandfather built. He actually built that entire building there. Him and my granduncle Clayton, or I shouldn't have said his name, but he's no longer with us, so he's a good man. So, Alesto, may I ask, do you harvest and process, or do you just harvest? Well, you're having the question answered right here. This is this building now. This machine that I'm standing on was something that my brothers and I built. So that's like each generation has contributed something new to our farm. But the building that we're sitting in, that I'm standing in at that moment, was actually built by my grandfather. God rest his soul. And yeah, the farm and the recorder that we're on, that this all sits on, was homesteaded by my great grandfather in the year 1900. So we're very proud of our heritage. And here we go. These are corn huskers. These are actual factual corn huskers. You've all heard of Nebraska corn huskers. Well, this is what it actually looks like to be husking corn. Okay, there you go. It's these rolling devices that pull the shuck off while leaving the integrity of the ear in place. Now be careful. There's a reason those cages are on there. Because if you get anything stuck in there on your body, it will take it all off. My dad explained to me that if you get your arm stuck in there with all the turning of wrenches, it's gonna take us an hour to get you out, and you're probably gonna still lose the arm anyways. So yeah, there's a reason why all those safeties are there. That's a shit ton of safeties. And then this is the robots. Yep. Digital eyes examine each ear. This used to be the work of 100 men and women. Ah, yes. The robots. That was, I'm going to be honest, the robots were mostly my brother Grow the Farm Up's contribution. We were all kind of skeptical on the robots, and he was very much adamant. And that's where all the shucks and basically all the stuff we don't keep goes into, and I get a slightly better shot here. Right there we go. There it is. And that is a shuck wagon. I used to run that when I was 14, and I used to run both of them by myself. And that is the final product. There we go. We do more than that, just that with the husks. Folks take them off and use them for cattle feed, and cattle love the husks. And actually, strangely enough, the cobs end up getting used in all kinds of stuff. Even like some of the filler in like Tylenol and like pain relieving pills are the cobs from corn. It's not just my facility; it's from all over the country. But now I'm going on top of the drying facility. That's another one where the concrete half of the drying facility was built by my grandfather. The steel half was built by my father and my brothers and I. That was collaborative effort to expand, and yeah, now the concrete side can take an F5 tornado. It was built to withstand just about anything. And there you go. That's the finito product. Heading down the belt. And those are all doors on top of different grain bins. Yes. And most of my employees would just as soon stay the fuck off of my podcast because they're of a generation like, podcast? What the fuck are you talking about, son? So there we go. That's a beautiful shot right there. I just love that shot. Oh, I'm a farmer. We live our lives afraid of clouds. Okay? Because they're either going to bring rain or disaster. And there we are. Like, any hailstorm's a disaster as far as I'm concerned. And that is a dryer bin that's on its way to getting full. And we're pushing air either up through it or down into it, depending on how we're trying to push the air. And then this is like a week later. It's been dried, and now we're shelling it. And it's going down this belt. And it's heading to the sheller house, one of the loudest frickin' places on our farm. I don't think this will even translate to what's about to happen. It's a little thick. That's a turn point. And that's another great shot. God damn it. Here in Texas, it's every other month a freeze or hurricane. God bless all y'all. I got some kinfolk that live down in Texas. They live by the beach, so God bless you. I've been down to Texas a handful of times, and it truly is a piece of God's country. Mind explaining why corn gets dried. Okay. Gosh. All right. Mind explaining why corn gets dry. I've never grown anything besides backyard. Okay. The reason we dry corn is because each one of those seeds is actually a live embryo. And that seed needs to grow the next year. So we dry it to a certain moisture because when it comes in, it's way too wet. If we just try to store it as is, it will either start to germinate in the bin or it'll just rot because, mold loves water. Rot loves water. So you need to dry it to a certain moisture where it can hold for a couple of years if it has to. I mean, there's been many times where seed gets held over 2 years sometimes. And the only reason that's possible is because you dry it to the proper moisture. So it can hold for a long time while still being able to germinate. Germination is when the seed actually begins to grow. So that's why we do that, because we dry it so that it'll germinate when it hits water rather than rotting in your bin. So it's just a way to keep it going for a little longer, to put it as simply as I can, I suppose. I hope that was good enough. And now we're heading into the sheller house. And those are the cobs I was talking about that end up in like the filler of your pills. This is the beginning of the season. This is the first shelled variety. That pile now is 2 stories tall. And yeah, the phone did not translate how loud that is. It's well above hearing damage decibels. And you have to wear earplugs to walk in there. And that machine there is literally shelling all of the kernels off of the cobs. So the ear is now being separated to kernel and cob. And here's the big kicker, folks. It shells right into a semi where it heads out to all you beautiful people. That's seed corn, anywho. And we're actually not going. Yep, what I said is for those who are curious, this is what shelling looks like. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Farmers love answering these kinds of questions. It's kind of one of those like, what? Talking about grain? Why, I'd love to. And there's us dumping the corn out of the semi using a conveyor. It's more to do with the strain. I've actually, years ago, when I was a kid, my dad was growing popcorn, and the problem is if it gets too hot, it'll actually pop in the field. So that was one reason why we did it for 2 years. Like if I had my dad here, he would give you all the intricacies. But nah, that's more of a strain. And that is actually a shot I've never been able to get because I'm pushing my phone way up into one of the air ducts of the bin. So you can see the grain filling into the bin, which I've never been able to achieve that shot before. And there you go. That's the pile starting in the bin. Just got a farm-related text, strangely enough. Yeah, it's just in my blood, Alesto. I'm the son of a farmer's son, of a farmer's son, of a farmer's son, of a farmer's son. So, literally, turns out my great, great, great grandfather was actually a farmer in Illinois until the railroad said, not no more, you aren't. And so, like, oh, I guess I'm going to go to Nebraska now. All right. So, yeah, that's how that one worked. And yes, I did do some education formally when I went to college, but most of it's been on the job training and just listening to my forefathers, listening to my grandpa talk about legumes and how to manage weeds, and just listening to my dad just on a daily and weekly basis. What's up? Way EOD 69696. How you been? Welcome back. Welcome back. He made a wise choice to leave Illinois for Nebraska. Well, luckily he settled on a piece of ground that the aquifer was under, so that was really the saving grace. And yeah, a lot of people don't know the Ogallala Aquifer, the largest freshwater aquifer in all the world. And Nebraska sits right on top of it. And that's why productive crops are made here. Ah, beautiful. It's a beautiful sight, ain't it, folks? Another day in paradise, folks. What can I say? There I am, all crazy hair covered in dirt. And that is just a beautiful shot there. I don't care who you are. That's just gorgeous. Look at that, will you? 40/20, beautiful big blue sky, conveyor filling the bin. God damn it, that was a beautiful day. I remember it was perfect temperature, light breeze. I was driving a semi around, moving that was corn that day. So I was moving grain around that day, and I just did all I could to spend as much time outside that day. It was just beautiful. Oh, I accidentally turned the volume off. I don't want it too high because, there we go. Perfect. It's nice to see what real hard work looks like. It's kind of funny. I was telling my dad about this. I showed him a panel I was on one time. I was on a Twitch panel, and he's like, a Twitch? What's a Twitch? Who's twitching? Like, and yeah, so I had to explain to him what that was. And he's like, oh, Phil, you need to record yourself working because looks like a lot of these people don't know, like all they know is life in front of a computer. So, which is quite a few folks on Twitch I've found. So, yeah, so he just said, yeah, just film yourself working and people find it fascinating. Because like Jerry Seinfeld said, the comedian Jerry Seinfeld had a pretty good bit about one of the great joys in life is watching other people work. So I figured, well, I'll film myself working and other people can watch it. Mad respect to farmers, miners, and any physical. Oh, yeah, God, yeah. I mean, just salt of the earth, folks. I mean, it's something William Jennings Bryan said. He was also a Nebraska politician. Now, he's a Democrat. I didn't agree with a lot of what he said, but it was one of those things that I'm not even sure I fully agree with it, but it gives me pause when I think about it. Where he said, if you were to flatten every city in America, pull every person out of those cities and flatten them, they will spring up again as if by magic. And, that is the ingenuity of the American people. So I do agree with that. But if you destroy the farms of this nation, there will be grass growing in the streets of every city. And so that's one that's given me pause. And I've had to think about that a lot. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my old man's a very wise man. Oh, that's some Dusty. That's some Dusty. I had to stand back on that one. People need to learn and talk to everyone. Well, yeah. Like that's one of the reasons I enjoy these panels too, is because there's people I would have never encountered otherwise, and it's just to me it's a blessing, and I'm much more the personal profit for it. I imagine there's a ton of data to collect on a phone. Oh, you have no fucking idea. I'm not showing you all the paperwork that I'm doing with all of this. God, that's something I should have done. I should have filmed all the fucking paperwork that goes into keeping track of one load of seed corn. You would fucking not believe it. Wow, I've heard a lot of farms are dying because son and daughters don't want. That is an unfortunate reality because there's such a small amount of population that's in agriculture. And there's some people that don't get it. It's kind of the funny thing is when I'm on Twitch panels, people say I'm really, really old. While when I'm on these, there we go. And that was my, there we go. Hey, there we go. That was my harvest highlight video thus far. But that's just one of those things that just always ends up happening, unfortunately, is such a small amount of the population is tied with agriculture that if you don't imbue certain aspects and certain ideas into the next generation, they won't want to pick up on it. But like I was saying on Twitch, everybody talks about how old I am because I just turned 36. Meanwhile, in farming, all I ever hear about is how young I am because the average farmer is like 65 to 72. And I'm not exaggerating. Hey, tomfoolery, how you been, man? Hey, tomfoolery show. Yeah, definitely give this guy a check out. He's a good guy. He's out of Atlanta. He's a bit more left than I am, but good people. There we go. Alesto, when I moved to my new town, I want to learn how to see these farms. Would love to see their livestock. Yeah. I mean, no, it just depends on the farm. Livestock. The reason I don't raise livestock personally is because my great grandfather famously said, "I'm tired of getting shit on my boots. I'm going to try this seed corn thing I keep hearing about," and the rest is history. 4 generations later. So. Yeah, and livestock, great salt of the earth occupation as well. LOL. Wahoo. Why do you think farmers have so many kids? More kids better start to getting a future farm. I mean, I'll be honest, I come from a family of a couple of brothers, and that family was a few brothers, and there's always been multiple children in the generation because, many reasons. And also farming was a lot more dangerous 100 years ago than it is today. So say if you had 3 kids and they all worked on the farm, statistically speaking, at least one of them's not going to make it to 30. So that was kind of this unfortunate calculus that a lot of folks would have in those days. Tomfoolery show took a political test on politically provoked last week. I'm actually far right, even socially. So he's learned to conceal his triple communist, folks. Be careful, he's sneaking in like a ninja. But Tomfoolery show, you can find him on YouTube. I think just if you type what I'm pointing at right here, I think you'll actually find it. But yeah, I've actually been on his show a couple of times. Had a great time every time I go there. He and I don't agree on a lot, but what I like about Tom is we can disagree on things, and he's not a giant asshole about it. Like I've gone on some shows where people are just fucking assholes. Like, wow, what the fuck did I ever do to you? But yeah, Tom and I will disagree, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, okay, I can at least see your perspective, and we can at least talk again later. So, yeah, Tomfoolery show definitely one to check out. Alesto TV. I drive by like 5 pig farms, 3-4 cow farms, and many horses. Horses is one of those things that like I love beautiful horses, but it's kind of like a motorcycle. In today's world, it's more of like I own a horse because I just really love horses. Uh, like to me, I've got 4-wheelers on my farm. I have 4-wheelers because a 4-wheeler isn't going to buck you off and maybe accidentally break your neck if they hear. So I gotta just go with 4-wheelers. They've got their problems. I've been bucked off by them too, trust me. But it is what it is. Cows, who doesn't love some beef? And pig farms, yeah. I actually just a mile down from my family farmyard is a hog farm that now just switched to goats. I haven't talked to them why, but so we're used to hogs and all that such, and I could tell you quite a few things about pigs and how they live and how they it's actually kind of fascinating. I'll just actually get into it right now. I've been on with panels like even with Vivian one time when she was talking about how we need to like create this new person and alter the way that people think and alter what they want and desire, and then we'll get the utopia that we want. And I said, oh, Vivian, let me tell you something about pigs. Okay, pigs are an example. Okay, it's taken us 10,000 years to breed the pig into the pink little docile animal that we have today. Makes delicious bacon, makes marvelous foodstuffs, and all kinds of other things that we could never even imagine are done with parts of pig. It's an incredible little convenience. And it's taken us 10,000 years of selective animal husbandry to turn it into what it is now. Now, if a pig escapes its domicile, escapes its domesticated surroundings, something very interesting happens to that pig. In just a few weeks, it starts to become much more aggressive. It starts to root for grubs and roots again. And even strangely enough, in a short amount of time, its hair will start to get thick. And it will become incredibly aggressive and get more muscular and stop being so fat. And then here's the kicker. Its offspring will even have tusks. And even over its life, it will grow small, diminutive tusks, but usable tusks nonetheless. But its offspring will have full wild boar tusks. So what I'm saying is within 3 weeks, the 10,000 years of our selective breeding on pigs is wiped clean, and they go back to their wild nature, the way that they are as they are of each in particular thing. What is it within itself? And I contend that humans are much the same way. You could spend 10,000 years trying to change human action and motivations, and then the minute that your hard supervision is gone, we go back to the way we are like that. And that's something that I've contended for a very long time. Let's see. I tell this exact story, but with smoker's lungs. Exact same story, but nice. Well, there you go. That's one that I would recommend using the pig story because it's so visual. So even if somebody that's kind of fighting you medically, they can still visualize it so well. It's like when Jordan Peterson talks about, well, the lobsters and their dominance hierarchy and the lobsters, this has existed longer than trees. That's something so visual that you can imagine touching the tree and how ancient it feels. And then, wow, you mean our desire for dominance hierarchies older than that. It's excellent, image-based persuasion. I don't know what. I suppose a piece of advice, I guess. Who would have thought Phil was a philosophical Phil over here? Are you kidding me? Yes, I am very much of the belief that Socrates is the man who was. So take that for. Do you alternate what you grow on it, or always? You can do corn on corn, but your nutrient package for your soil has to accommodate that. It's always good to rotate crops if you can at all help it. Soybeans, what's great about soybeans is their roots actually have little nodules that actually leach and secrete nitrogen into your soil. So it actually, growing soybeans actually adds nitrogen that's usable for your next year's crop into your soil. So that's why soybeans are such a huge rotation crop now. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to do it, you could grow corn on corn on corn on corn on corn on corn for 15 years if you like. Now you have to be just like right on top of your soil chemistry, but that's a different issue for a different day. Can you go through your rotations? Well, I mean, it's not really my rotation. It's just generally every farmer's rotation is they're going to try to go from, if you can get a seed crop, you'll do that. Then the next year you'll do a commercial corn crop on the same field. And then you do a soybean. And then if you've really mined your soil and you need organic material, you'll grow some kind of sorghum like Milo, something like that. And that all that really does is just add a lot of trash to the field, like a lot of leaves and a lot of stalks and a lot of stuff that your soil and your microbes can now consume, because people don't really know how very predatory like plants and microbes in the soil are. Like people think that like, oh, I'm vegan and I don't ever eat any animals. Well, animals are incredibly carnivorous, or I mean, plants are incredibly carnivorous, and they'll break down animals very quickly. And you're usually, when you're eating plants, you're still eating animals, just in liquefied form. So it's a very weird. It's what I like as somebody that watches life grow so much. It's what I call the paradox of the living. Is that life must consume life in order to sustain life. And that is a paradox I don't know the proper solution to. Like now, vegans, they're trying to make this ethical choice, and I don't begrudge them. Have at it. Like if you think you've got a measure of happiness in this life, go for it. But like me as a farmer, I kind of chuckle when they say like I never eat any animal byproducts. Like, want to bet? Do you take soil samples? We send them to labs, and I mean, we do our own soil sampling. Like my father, he can just take a core sample, break it up in his hand, look at it, and now this is going to sound kind of weird, but even put just a little bit in his mouth, and he'll be able to taste it and tell you quite a bit. Like I have not gotten to the point where I can taste soil and tell you where it is yet. My dad's still trying to work on that. Like I can taste whiskeys and tell you what they are, but I'm not quite to my old man's level yet. So, but yeah, my old man, he can also, and he taught me how to do this. If I get to a corn stalk and I cut it open and I get the middle white part of the stalk that's wet, and I start chewing on that, depending on how sweet or bitter it is or where else it fits on the flavor profile, I can actually tell you how much potassium you have, how much phosphorus you have, if you need to add. Yeah, it like you said, when you ask, how'd you learn this? Just lifetime of doing it and being the son of a farmer, son of a farmer, son of a farmer, son of a farmer's son. And it's just in the blood. What can I say? So, you know what? This was a lot longer than I had anticipated it being, but folks, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining me for the grand return of the K.O.E. Nation here on YouTube and Twitch. You can find me at K.O.E. Nation, YouTube, Twitch. That's K as in King, O as in oh my God, it's the King of Extreme, E as in Extreme. K.O.E. Nation, YouTube and Twitch. You can also find me at Big Buckin' Empire on YouTube, Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook, Big Buckin' Entertainment entertainment on Twitch. Folks, you know to keep up with your KOE content. Also, don't you dare pass up me, Tony, and Chicken over at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, where we keep you up to date with all the latest happenings in the wild, wacky world of professional wrestling. The Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. RevRest Pod on Twitch and Twitter, folks. Be sure to catch up with all of it, folks. Now, oh, yes. Cool. Yes. Have a good night. Yes, we will. Oh, I will be back streaming a lot more because I forgot how much fun I have doing it. But also, big shout out to the Tomfoolery Show, Dad's Worldwide, and Yanked Up Podcast, all on YouTube. Also, check out my brother's YouTube channel, Grow the Farm Up, on YouTube. He's got great sustainable and regenerative agriculture information. But folks, I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil K.O.E., the prince and potentate of the political parlance, one damn handsome man, and the lord of the Scottish Highlands. Signing off, handing it off. I hope to find all of you back here at the K.O.E. Nation, happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless every last one of you. Can't wait to see you back here.